What is good, Raider Nation? Yo, man, we got a fire show lined up. We're going to go ahead and talk about all the free agency signings and what is there to come. So, without any further ado, let me go ahead and kick this thing off. Here we go.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Maxx on the blitz. The silver and black, on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan then you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question.
Just win, baby.
Win, baby.
Just win.
What's good, Raider Nation? Salute to everybody out there. Happy Monday, y'all. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Raiders Unfiltered. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead, check on in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification on your boy on this channel. It does help to go ahead and help this channel grow on YouTube, on X. If you're on X, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that follow button. If you're not following me already, jump on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button for your boy. You already know, hit that notification when news goes on. When news drops, I go on. You already know what time it is. Appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday afternoon, Monday night, wherever you guys be at. I hope you guys are home. You guys are heading home from work. I hope you guys are at the crib already. Y'all drinking, and hope you guys are bringing out a cold one or having a nice drink, or just relaxing. Whatever floats your boat, man. We guys are heading to work, man. I hope you guys have a great shift, and I hope this helps to go ahead and make the day go by a little bit faster. But either way, man, again, appreciate you guys pulling up. I can't go ahead and start this show without acknowledging the chat. Real quick, salute to Jack in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. Black man in the building. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, man, I don't know why you're bringing up stuff from 2004, bro, but okay. My guy, 401 Raider Jeff in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to Bob's in the building. What is the deal, my guy? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up and tapping in on this Monday night. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Free agency, first week down. First week in the books. And we made some few signings. We had, obviously it was a crazy week last week. Literally, Spytek was knocking him out of the park on Monday, and that man was cooking, yo, cooking. But we made a lot of big signings on that first day. Um, kind of quiet on the second day. Third day, second day we got hit with the big bombshell, and third day we're talking about it. We made a couple signings in free agency, but um, obviously the whole debacle, the whole thing with Maxx Crosby, that trade falling through. And we get Max back, and we lose our first round picks. Literally crazy bombshell that the Ravens literally dropped on that Tuesday. And we talking about it throughout the week. We talked about it on the Connection show. We didn't know kind of what's next for Max, and what the plans are for him, and whether he's going to be a guy who's going to be staying or going. Those questions were raised, right? Where could he be still traded, or does he stay? What is the deal? And you know, we found out. We found out right away what's what's the plans for Maxx Crosby and his future, and you know, uh, but for sure, y'all already know. But if you guys missed it, let me go ahead and put it back in for y'all. Uh Hold on, let me pull this up. I had it ready. Here we go. There we go. So if you guys don't follow Max, if you guys literally completely unfollow Max, as I did for a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all already know. Put out the tweet uh during the week. Says everything happens for a reason. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. I'm a Raider. I'm back. Run that shit. Max is staying. And shortly after that, we stopped taking calls from teams. We stopped taking calls from teams, letting everybody know that we are not shopping Max. We are not shopping Max. He is here to stay. He's going to be a Raider. He's going to be running it through, at least with us, for majority of the 2026 season, if not all of it, and probably for the foreseeable future. Right. Um, but crazy week. Once that dropped, I mean, it kind of changes things. And again, we didn't know for a little bit of time what Max's future is going to be. But now we know Max is here to stay. Max is going to be a Raider moving forward. So is here to stay. We're going to go ahead and talk about how that's going to go ahead and really impact this defense now that Max is part of that equation, as opposed to not being part of that equation. So changes things a little bit. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. Obviously, this is a different team from when he left it. Now, being back for literally over a weekend, um, not even a weekend, a few days, not even a staycation. You can't even call it a staycation because it wasn't even there that long. But definitely that Monday was a lot of big signings. We went over that last week. We went over that on the Connection show as well. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But there is some new stuff dropping down that happened over the weekend, and also today. We're gonna go ahead and talk about that in just a second. Again, let me go ahead and hit up the chat real quick. And again, appreciate you guys pulling up, rocking with me on this Wednesday night. Shout out to my guy. Oh my God, my guy 805, becoming a member, becoming part of the JRB family. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up and becoming a member. Shout out to my guy right here. Make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow. He is part of that war room on Sundays and Wednesdays. They have fire content, breaking down a lot of the game film, a really good analysis. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up with my guy 805, my guy Severe, and Chris Protect the Shield. Again, on Sunday and Wednesdays nights. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap into my guy. Salute to you, bro. Thank you for pulling up. My guy Hugs in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. Alex in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Baltimore is not a vacation. You got that right, bro. I was like, man, we sending I mean, Baltimore is not really like, yeah, exactly. It's not the vacation. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Baltimore. Unless you live there, you have family there. Ain't nothing too much going on in Baltimore. So I don't know. I don't know. But my guy surviving the bullet. He dodged the bullet. Dodged the bullet, bro. Because it could have it probably I don't know. I don't know what place he would have found to like call his new home if he would have stayed, but he dodged a bullet. Obviously, he was still got his crib, he stayed with his crib here in Vegas, but you know, for that, you know, 4 months, 6 months that they're there, gotta have a little makeshift hole in the wall or a little crib so that way you're not traveling back and forth. Shout out to my guy Darren in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. Mountain Dew says, how do you feel about Fernando Mendoza, who might go to the Raiders? It's a wonderful thing, my guy. I'm excited. I can't wait to literally get him into the silver and black officially with that number 15 jersey. Those things are going to go flying off the shelves. Let me go ahead and tell y'all. But man, literally, we're just over a month away of the 2026 NFL draft. My guy Raider Jeff is going to be there in Pittsburgh, live and in direct. So I'll try to get him on the pod real quick. He says he's going to try to go do a live. It's going to be great. You better get like some noise canceling mics, some really good headphones, bro, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be loud as hell, man, for sure. That's for damn sure. Let's see here. Shout out to Caleb Rodriguez in the building. Mendoza, Bowers, Genty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those are the guys, man. We're going to go ahead and talk about that in just a bit. Shout out to my guy Bueno in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. My guy, he says, who would buy a Jets 15 jersey? Very strange, Jay. Nope. You already know, bro. We can get that 15 Mendoza jersey. I'm gonna get you one especially for you, my guy. We're gonna frame it, hang it up on the wall. You know what? I'm not even try to go ahead and get an autograph for you. Might be worth some money for you someday. You never know. You never know. Let's see here. My guy Jeff says I spent a ton of money upgrading my shit for that. Yep. Yeah, there you go. That's what's up. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. We got some signings to go ahead and talk about that happened again over the weekend and up until today. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm gonna start with this one first. Raiders. There you go. Raiders officially find their fullback. Raiders signed Connor Hayward to the Raiders as their fullback. Right. Not too much tape out there as far as with Hayward. I got to see a little bit of it. He's solid, man. He's solid. I mean, this guy's primary duty is going to be ultimately blocking. And honestly, that's totally fine with me. Totally fine with me. But this is something that we kind of been looking for a while. Unfortunately, Alex Engel got signed to the Chargers last week, so he was out. But I think this is a pretty solid signing. Steelers actually wanted to go ahead and re-sign him, keep him in-house. Lost that bet. So, but Raiders are able to go ahead and find their fullback moving forward. And that's going to go ahead and fit really good into the Clint Kubiak system. Let me go ahead and pull up this next one. Raiders go ahead and sign um, Derek Young, uh, kick return slash wide receiver over the weekend as well. I think this was on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Um, big addition, big addition. Not from what you might think, but for special teams. This guy can go ahead and kick return. This guy can go ahead and make plays on special teams. I saw some tape a little bit earlier today. Got to squeeze in some time. I like what I saw. This guy's definitely a threat on the kick return. So I think this is a really good upgrade. I'm excited to go ahead and see what he can do. As far as wide receiver, it does go ahead and help with depth. I don't think he's going to be too much of an impact, though. His tape looks pretty decent. Not mad at it. We'll see what he can go ahead and well, let's see what he can go ahead and kind of dial up more on this current Kubiak system. Obviously, they were there last year. You know, maybe he becomes a little bit more integral part this year with kind of the way that this wide receiver room is currently is. Obviously, not having the number one wide receiver does make a big difference. So that pushes a lot of dudes up. Um, Even with Naylor here, us having that veteran, and now it's crazy to call Trey Tucker a veteran, but he's a veteran. Um, and then now Young as well is going to go ahead and add some good depth in that wide receiver room, but obviously um, it still lacks that wide receiver run, that true threat, that big presence out there. On the offensive side alongside Brock Bowers. Um, we're going to talk about that also in just a bit. We got some thoughts as far as what direction we can go and possibly bringing in another big wide receiver, another weapon for Fernando Mendoza. Sorry, 805 and Jeff. Throwing it out there, but we'll talk about that. Either way, whoever's going to be quarterback, which we all know who it is. We all know who's going to be. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Okay, it's going to be certified in about like what is it, 45 days, something like that, 40 days. So let's start getting used to the idea of Fernando Mendoza here. All right. I gotta go ahead and razz my guys a little bit here. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the sign today. Linebacker Segun Olubi, 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 yes, Olubi, from the Colts. Big. This is a pretty exciting signing. Not a huge signing because probably most of y'all are like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy, he was one of the guys that blocked that AJ Cole punt last year. If y'all forgot, gotta go back and watch the tape on that. But he was one of those guys that blocked the punt on AJ Cole on that 46 to 3, 46 to 6 or 46. I don't even know the damn score that we had. I don't even know how many points. I try to forget that game, but that 40 point blowout by the Colts. He's a guy that blocked the punt on us. Well, this guy has this guy's very physical. Also, I think he also plays some special teams, so he's going to be out there as well. So Raiders not only bolstering their defense, trying to go ahead and bolster a little bit on the offensive side, but special teams, they are paying attention to it, are trying to go ahead and upgrade every phase of the game. Last year we struggled pretty bad and special teams, an area that normally we're pretty solid on. Surprising that we actually struggled in that area, but we've rectified that. We brought in a big coach, an experienced coach to go ahead and really fix that room. Now bringing in Young, and Ulubi as well. It's going to go ahead and help that phase of the game. Also, too, you got an extra depth, got an extra piece as far as linebackers concerned. This guy's a really solid piece, and it's really gonna go ahead and complement that linebacker room that is literally been upgraded almost by leaps and bounds. Literally went from almost geriatric to now like, hey man, we just fresh out of diapers almost. It's that night and day, but the talent is probably the thing that really showcases here. Um, and Dean and Quay Walker, getting those guys picked up last week. We're gonna go ahead and talk about that again in just a bit. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rock with me on this Monday night. Not gonna be on for a whole too long, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about some things. Try to see if we can go ahead and slip a quick mock in there. I haven't done the mock since the whole pre after the after the Maxx trade. That's the last time I did one. Once that got voided or negated or whatever, haven't really done one. But let's go ahead and let me tap into the chat again real quick. Let's see here. Appreciate you guys pulling up. All right. Let's see here. All right. Shout out to my guy Anthony in the building. What is good, my guys? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. I was trying to go ahead and get you a membership over at Wastage, bro. I don't know if it went through or not. I was hoping that maybe the curse would be lifted over there. Let me know if that if that made its way to you. I don't know, but hopefully it did. I know Jeff threw some in there too, so hopefully it went through. So yeah, let's see. There you go. Caleb said our 15 will be better than the Chiefs 15. Hopefully, bro. Time will tell. Time will tell. I'm not. I want that to kind of evolve naturally. I don't want to push that too soon. All right. Let's see here. All right. Put me out there for what, bro? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. My guy Dixon in the building. What is good, my guy? There you go. Rocking that Fernando avatar already, bro. You already know. Let's see here. Kirk Cousins as a backup QB. Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. Kirk might possibly be on his way. We'll see. If the price is right, if everything makes sense, if he's willing to go ahead and take on the responsibility of mentoring a young QB who has definitely some real good talent and potential for sure. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Wasted. Salute to none other than Wasted Talent in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Oh man, thank you, brother. Appreciate you becoming a member. Salute to you, man. Thank you. Hey, appreciate you just supporting, man. Appreciate you just pulling up, brother. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. Means a lot and means a lot from all of you guys just tapping in every show. Wednesdays, Mondays, Saturdays sometimes. Just guys interacting and chopping up in the chat. This is a lot of it. This is therapy. This is a lot of it. It just getting through a lot of the woes that we've been experiencing over the last few years. And talking some ball. That's what we do. Talking some ball. But I appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you. Thank you for the membership. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. But let's go ahead and kind of talk about these upgrades. Raiders making moves. They upgraded a few positions. Obviously, you know, bring in two big linebackers in Quay Walker and N'Kobe Dean. It's going to be a huge impact on this new defensive system that we're about to go ahead and roll out. It's going to give us a different schemes, different looks that we can go ahead and operate on. Bringing in a guy like Kwity Paye, another edge rusher to go on the other side of now the return of the almighty Maxx Crosby, Mad Maxx Crosby, and that man is mad. You don't want to see that man mad. I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come, man, because you know a pissed off Max is not a guy to be fucked with. So too bad that we don't get to play the Ravens this season coming up. We're gonna have to wait to 27 for that to really come through. But man, he's gonna go out there and put a statement out there because we know what the Ravens did. Well, we'll talk about it in a bit, but these guys, kind of going back to Walker and Dean's pickups for their signing. These are big signings, and bring in Sagan as well. Part of that rotation is going to be big, man. Again, I got to watch a little bit of tape on what he was able to go ahead and do last year with Indianapolis. Very physical guy. Definitely a guy to go ahead and definitely keep your eye out on there. Excuse me. This is a guy you can't take lightly. So definitely, I'm interested to see how they're going to go ahead and kind of scheme him up in this new defense coming out. Obviously, bring in a guy like Kwity Paye, like I said, being on the other side of Max. You got also Malcolm Koonce returning on another 1 year, bring up more depth. There's going to be a little bit of a battle as far as between Kwity and Malcolm Koonce. I think this is a great opportunity for Malcolm to go ahead and not only have some competition, but hopefully we get to see the Malcolm Koonce of old, that Malcolm Koonce that we saw that first year with us, that we've been hoping to see. Sucks. Yes, he got injured the following year. Last year didn't look too spectacular up until late in the season. So we're on the second year now. That ACL is going to be even more fully healed. This is year 2 on a fully healed ACL. I think a lot of it, and I can't really speak for it because I never had. Look, if knock on wood, I don't know if I had my ACL torn. Maybe something happened there at one point, but I can't really know. But I assume if you had that tear, you had that surgery, you're just going back into it. You always have that sense in the back of your mind that you can't. You're going to go ahead and err on the side of caution. So if you ever had a knee injury, if you really had a pretty big knee injury, you're always going to go ahead and compete with a little bit of side of caution. That 100% not always comes right away. It's a mental block until you get more comfortable with it as time progresses, as you do more things on it. You're starting to go back to your old form, and I've had that happen outside of ball, nothing to do with ball. But I've had a knee injury, and I've erred with the side of caution. That's why I said it like that. So maybe we see a better Malcolm Koonce this year. Maybe this is a year where Malcolm Koonce could potentially break out. Who knows, right? But now you got brought back for different circumstances. At that time, you could say that we brought him back. Max wasn't here. Technically, that deal was pending. For all intents and purposes, Max was going to Baltimore. we bring back Kuntz during that time frame, and the Maxx deal falls through. The trade falls through, right? So now we have Malcolm Kuntz, which is still it's not we're not in a bad position at all. You know, first off, we need depth in that edge room, but two, you're bringing back a Malcolm Kuntz that's already been here with Robbie Leonard, who knows how Robbie Leonard operates, who's literally Robbie Leonard has brought the best out of this guy. So this is not a bad position. Who's coming on year 2 of ACL repair, and could be the year where it'll probably be the year of where he's lights out. It could be that because he could have gone somewhere else, and maybe that would have happened, and we could have been like, damn, maybe we should have kept him for another year. So now we ain't looking so bad. We ain't looking so bad. We went ahead and upgraded our nickel position as well. And we got a nickel. Somebody that we don't have to go ahead and rely on Darnay Holmes to go ahead and really be that guy to go ahead and hold it down on the nickel position, right? So we on the defensive side of the ball, like I said, I saw that we were going to be making a lot of moves because there was a lot of moves to be made. There was a lot of holes that needed to be filled, and we are starting to fill them. But not only fill them with this is not just like, hey, we need to go ahead and fill this with bodies. We put some talent into this. There's some talent. There's some solid guys up in here, and we ain't even done yet. We're not done yet. So, free agency is still going to continue on. We have literally the draft in about 45 days. And don't be surprised to see this draft very, very defensive heavy. And we're going to go ahead and talk about just a bit on some of the stuff that we're going to be looking out for as far as, positions that we're going to go ahead and pick up, guys that could be out there that we might be able to go ahead and snatch up in some of these rounds. Potential moves that could be made in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5. Never know. Spytech likes to move up and down the board, and we all know where kind of the cream of the crop is really going to lie. And this draft is going to be much shorter. Probably by top of the 4th. That's probably going to be where this is going to be your last shot of getting quality guys at certain positions. So just gotta kind of keep a lookout on that. Again, appreciate you guys tapping in, rocking with me on this Monday night. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. My guy Bueno says, man, I wish we could have kept Chase on. I agree, man. I agree. Hey, he's over there, getting his bag, bro. More power to him. That is a dude that literally is getting a second chance in this league. Who got his second chance in this league is making the most of it. So I'm very happy for him. Hope he does his thing. Shout out to my guy, Cool Kev in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see here. Dixon says, I really like Tommy Eichenberg as a prospect during that draft. Yeah, man. But he hasn't really done a whole lot. He, at this point, it is what it is. He's a deaf guy. And cool, man. Cool. I mean, we need deaf pieces, so it's all good. Let's see here. All right. Go back here. All right. Shout out to Orgullo Mexicano. He says Ramsey for safety. I don't think is he. I don't know. Is he out there? I haven't even seen on the safety spot, but To be honest with you, having Chin out there, having Isaiah Paul, I think we good. The whole thing with Isaiah is just him being played out of position last season. Being thrown into that free safety role is not his forte. We saw that. We saw that pretty clear and evident. I think once that gets corrected this year, I think it should be good. I think it should be good. But um, yeah, as far as picking up another guy, bringing in I assume that's Jalen that you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, which guy? Which guy? Which name? I don't know. Which name? Man. Let's see. Uh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, Eichenberg. Yeah, Eichenberg, bro. Look. We just raised in different ways, dog. That's it. He's out. He was raised out in 305. I'm out in LA. It's different, bro. It's because he's Cubano, bro. I'm Mexican. It's a little bit different, bro. You know. So that's all. That's all. Oh man, but let's go ahead and continue on. But this defense is definitely looking different. Obviously, we still have the questions as far as what we're going to go ahead and do as far as the nose tackle is concerned. Um, you know, as far as free agency, I don't know if there's anybody out there per se that um, I would go ahead and potentially pursue. Um, a lot of these guys are on the older side. You know, um, a name that we can even try to fathom is probably Tillery, and is on his way to being 30 years old. I think this is probably an opportunity where we go ahead and draft our nose tackle. To be honest with you, you want a big guy out there. You want somebody who's going to be able to go ahead and close those lanes and close those gaps. Positive necessary, bro. But you want a guy like that. You want a guy like that out there. Um, you know, there's different routes that we can go through on the draft, right? There's a few names out there. Lee Hunter, excuse me. Lee Hunter being one of them. Um, Dominic Orange, definitely a guy to go ahead and keep your eye out on. That might be a later round pickup. He might be a guy that we pick up, you know, maybe third round, early first. We got some extra draft picks in the fourth round. So definitely we can go ahead and use one of those if he's still there to go ahead and pick up a guy like Dominic Orange. So, I've drafted him a few times. So I'm definitely happy with that draft. And if they pick him up, I'm be more than happy about it. Um, but I think just bringing back that Maxx Crosby, you know, um, kind of going back on the Maxx Crosby talk, right? Again, like I said, it's a different team from when he got where he left or got traded, even though he didn't go anywhere. To now, a few days later after he that didn't work out, um, it's a different team, right? Um, picked up a lot of good guys. Picked up, beefed up that linebacker room. Answered the nickel position. Brought in some more edge players, right? Some more edges. So we signed some of our guys. Brought back Stokes. Brought back Coons. So a lot of familiar faces, some new faces, big new, big new faces, right? But having Max back as a Raider, like I said, you guys were with me on the live on was it 2 Fridays ago? 2 Fridays ago, and I didn't think that trade was going to go through, you know, and how I was wishful thinking of it, wishful thinking that it didn't go through. We didn't find a trade partner, or just a lot of bullshit. But it happened. It happened, right? And we we sent Max a farewell. We got a compensation, and then come a few days later that we get the rug pulled out under us, right? And so we're back to this drawing board. And again, I've said in those lives, either way, it's not a bad thing. The worst case scenario is that we keep Maxx Crosby and he's here. And I think he finally got to see, because this is it's just funny how some of the things that are out there, it's just like, you know, some people are like, we're just gonna go ahead and forget this thing ever happened. I don't want to forget that it actually happened, but this is probably a scenario where it's a good thing that the trade did try to happen. Max got to see what the other side of the fence is. He got to see what the other side of the grass is, and it's not too much greener. You know, say what you say about Maxx Crosby. This dude, can ball out. This dude has a passion, has a drive, has a love for this nation, for this team, and he has, I want to say luxuries, but you know, he has certain influence on this team, and he's he's definitely king of the hill when it comes to this team. He's king of the hill on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of the stuff that he says carries weight. A lot of these guys look up to him, and I don't know how it would be for him going into Baltimore, going into a situation where he's a new guy. Yes, he's Maxx Crosby, but again, the way that these players interact with each other, just because you're Maxx Crosby doesn't mean automatically you become big king of the hill. You have to go ahead and earn that right. You have to go ahead and regrind and show why you're the top dog. you know, and that's the thing that he probably would have had to go through in Baltimore, right? Could he have done it? Absolutely, but it would have taken him time. It would have been totally different from how he has it here. So I think he saw that. I think he saw, look, I have a fan base that shows me love. You know, hey, I think some of the way that people reacted, they were heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie, and I I was a little bit heartbroken about it, but I'm not gonna go burn my jerseys or anything like that. I'm not gonna go badmouth the man, because you can't fault him for wanting out. You can't fault him for him wanting to win. But he also got that taste of, like, look, when you get out of that building, when you go to a different team, not everybody's gonna treat you the right way. Not everybody's gonna be rolling out the red carpet for you. They sometimes it just doesn't happen that way, right? Here you have it. Here you have it a certain way, and so I think that took into a lot of his consideration on him wanting to remain a Raider. He's comfortable here. He has a guy that he's been working with for the last 4 years, who he values highly, and Robbie Leonard. He has a lot of the guys that he's been um, playing with for a couple years now, a few years now. Um, so he has a lot of familiarity. He knows the timing. He's worked with Coons. He works with Adam Butler. I gotta throw out that 8 for 805. I gotta throw out Adam Butler out there. Uh, but he's working. He's played with guys. He's played with these guys for a few seasons now. He knows their timing. He knows how these guys operate. He knows how these guys work. That goes a long way, as opposed to working with a whole brand new set of guys. You're having to work with maybe three, four, or five, maybe five guys, new guys, as opposed to a whole defensive defensive team, and trying to figure out their system, trying to figure out what they're trying to go ahead and implement and do. Because even if it's a familiar style, it's still a different playbook, still a different way of doing things. So I think he factored all that and said, you know what, I have it pretty fucking good out here, getting paid. I'm with the team that I love. I'm here with the team that's drafted me. They still want me in the building. Just run it. Fuck it. So I think Maxx is gonna be phenomenal with this new defense. Literally new role. I think they have. I saw something earlier where they have him listed as outside linebacker already, and that's kind of the system that they're going to go ahead and kind of run. So I'm excited to see Maxx Crosby in this new defense with Robbie. I feel these guys, these front, this trench is gonna really cook. We're gonna see some exotic. We're gonna see some exotic stuff at times. We're gonna see a lot of like sneaky stuff. I feel like we're gonna get a little bit of variation on Mike McDonald and the kind of the stuff that he runs out in Baltimore. So I'm excited to see what happens, man. But obviously, we got some more spots to kind of fill out. But obviously, just having Eric Stokes there, bringing some better experience back. Second year for Darian Porter. Hopefully, we get to see more of Darian Porter. I feel we are. Taron Johnson is going to be a good addition at the nickel spot. So happy to see him here. Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Polomao. So maybe bring in another corner for depth, or it just depends on how you want to go ahead and treat Darian Porter. That's going to be a question out there, but I think they like what the potential he potentially brings to the table. I think they might just go ahead and probably bring in a depth piece, but I think the next piece is definitely going to be a nose tackle for sure. And I think that's going to come from the draft. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we'll get to know our answer really, really soon. Again, let me go ahead and hit up the chat. Again, appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe on this channel. Just Raiders, baby. Appreciate you guys tapping in on this Monday night. Everybody on X, make sure you guys go ahead and head on over to YouTube. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel. I have the link pinned in the chat, so make sure you guys go ahead and head on over and be part of the chat. Here we go. All right. I'm going to send that up there again. All right, cool. Let's see here. I went too far back. All right. Here we go. Bob says receiver Stephon Diggs is available, but I just don't know if the Raiders will want the distraction. Yeah, man. Also, he's oldest Stephon. I think he's already in his I think he's in his 30s. Yeah, he's 32. So I was gonna say, I mean, looking the way that the Raiders are kind of operating in the last couple weeks almost. I think the youth movement is something that we're going full steam ahead on. I don't see us really deviating on that too much, especially at the wide receiver position. Though I wouldn't be mad if they go ahead and bring him in but he's not my first choice. He's not my first choice, but obviously we'll see. Um, Speaking of free agent wide receivers, you know, the guys that are still out there in the market, which is Stephon Diggs, you got Debo Samuel, you got Curtis Samuel, wide receiver out of Buffalo, 29 years old. He's out there. We talked about, um, hang on one second, I lost my thing here. All right. Hang on. What is going on? All right. All right. You got Juwan Jennings out there as well. That's another guy. And, you know, big ticket item, but he is on the younger side. He's 28 years old, but market value about 22 mil, 22 and a half. So if you are bringing a guy like that, that is a big investment. Are you bringing him on a 1 year deal or a 2 year deal? That's the question. So if we're looking to go ahead and bring in that number one wide receiver, Joanne Jennings would probably be a guy that will probably fit. But does come with some asterisk. Obviously, we know that it's a little bit of a off field distractions out there. Hang on one second, guys. Man, who was me up? All right, let me mute this. All right, sorry about that. Let's see here. But as far as names, not too many names out there on the younger side. Marquise Brown under 30. His market value is about 5.5. You got Keenan Allen. I'm not really, I don't know about bringing that dude. Older side, about to turn 34 this year. Um, let's see here. We got Schuster, just over $2 million as well. So, as far as on the youth side of wide receiver, not too many names out there, for sure. Let's see here. All right. Let me go ahead and take some more things. Dixon says he really wanted those first round. Me too, bro. Me too. Me too. It is what it is, bro. We just have to move on from it. Could it still happen? Could, bro. Nothing says that it doesn't. This is where Spytech has to be crafty. If he wants to go ahead and go back into the first round, if he really wants his, number one wide receiver, wants to trade back into 20th, because 20th, you can either get Makai Lemon that could possibly still be there, or Casey Concepcion that could potentially still be there. One of those two guys could be there. Um, you know, who knows, right? Who knows? There's different ways that you can go ahead and go about this. You can give up, you know, um, a third and a couple your third for next year, and a couple of fourths for this year. We have 3 4th-round picks this year. Could be and a player could be the swing factor. You might have to give up a second for next year. It just depends if they really want to go ahead and make that move, going back into the first round, right? Um, Another guy that I'm going to go ahead and put out there that the Raiders are going to go ahead and kind of schedule, and kind of staying on the topic of collegiate wide receivers in the draft. Raiders are going to go ahead and actually have a visit with Denzel Boston on Sunday. Um, they have their 30 visit with Denzel Boston. And he's kind of been projected up into that kind of first round, early second, at the bottom at the most. But this will be a good pickup if they decide to go ahead and go after a guy like Denzel Boston. But they are planning to go ahead and meet with them on Sunday. So again, could go different ways as far as with going out there and getting a wide receiver. Um, you know, if you really want your true wide receiver, your true number one wide receiver, you have to either get him in that first round or early second round. So that number 36 pick and that second will probably be that choice if they really want to go ahead and address that wide receiver position. Now, again, the way they kind of picked up in free agency makes me think that they might not go so heavy at linebacker early on, you know, and that's a question. So, are they going to go ahead and make a splash in the second round defensively, or it's going to be offense? Who is it going to be on offense? Are they going to go tackle? Or are they going to go wide receiver? These are all questions that are not out there, right? I'm looking at NFL Draft Buzz right now, and Denzel Boston is ranked number 4 in their player rankings for the wide receiver class. Let me go ahead and kind of read some read a profile of Boston real quick. Guys, 6'4". Let's see here. They have 40. He here they have him at 4'5", 40. Strings. He's built like a true X receiver, 6'4", long arms, knows how to use every inch of that frame to wall off corners and pluck balls outside of his body. Time speed says 4.5, but on tape he plays faster, gets up to speed quick, and carries it through his routes without any wasted steps. So there you go. So sometimes what and it makes sense. I know what it's saying. So what they're able to go ahead and kind of record is not always indicative of how they play, and how to use that speed when you're running a route is super important. So that's a good indicator there. Go watch the deep balls. Head comes around early, tracks it over his shoulder like a center fielder just to adjust to back shoulders as good as anyone in the class. 20 touchdowns in 2 years. Most of those came in the red zone. This kid knows how to score. Wins with fades, box out, slants, finds a soft spot. There you go. Hands are legit. Vice grip and catches through contact. DBs can get their hand in there, and he's still coming down with it 9 times out of 10. That's a really good thing right there. Real crafty at the catch point in those breaking routes. Puts his body between the ball and the defender like he's posting up in the paint. Runs angry after angry after the catch for a lanky guy. Breaks arm tackles, falls forward, fights for every extra yard. There's some dog in him, and I like that. There you go. I like that. Guy's a dog. Willing blocker, and that matters. Seals off corners, screens, cracks down on edge players. Does the dirty work without pouting about it. That's probably why they're going out and meeting with this guy on Sunday. Everything that I just read, and I don't even know when this was updated. Again, this is from NFLDraftBuzz.com. This is kind of what I use to kind of scout these guys sometimes on a quick little cheat sheet. But hey, you guys can make your assessment. I haven't seen any tapes, so I can't really go too further. But from what I've just read, I'm liking what I hear on the drafts. This guy is going off the board by top of the second. They're gone. He's usually gone in the first round, so I don't know. Shout out to my guy 805. He says, I'd still try and draft Jacob Rodriguez. Let Quay Walker move all around the defense as an outside linebacker. Brah. I man, how excited I would be if we still drafted Jacob. Man, I'll be like bouncing off the walls, bro. For real. I'll be like, hell yeah, man. Hopefully that happens. Um, just I really feel, to be honest with you, that by them going out and getting Dean and Walker, bro, I feel like they're gonna go ahead and get somebody different in that second round. But I think what could happen, well, is that I think the trade up is going to be in the second round. I don't know if they're hoping that Boston falls down into the second round and then they can go ahead and pick them up there, and then they just go back into the first round and get a guy like either Rodriguez if he's still there or Anthony Hill. I don't know. That's going to be the question. So let's see what happens there. But oh man, that would be sweet. That'll be sweet. My guy Troy says trade back from number one pick and get more picks. No, brother, we're gonna go out and get a quarterback. That's what's gonna happen. But I see your point. I do see your point. I do. I get it 100%. Shout out to my guy John Leone in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you tapping in. Let's see here. Dixon says Mark Davis want to bring in a woman beater. Who? You're talking about Jennings? I don't know, bro. Probably not. I don't know. It's that signing. That signing will be. I don't know if it would happen, bro. To be honest with you, it's a big price tag, and we don't have a whole lot of cap left. You know, until if they restructure Max, which I think they could still. I think they could still do it, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a big thing. One thing's for sure, with the whole Max thing, he is going to go ahead and get his money guaranteed. He's going to get his full salary guaranteed through 2027. So there you go. Shout out to my guy Rated Resistance on the fire content. Make sure you guys go ahead and head on over. Follow my guy Rated Resistance if you guys don't do so already. If you're on X, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that follow on my guy Rated Resistance. Always with the breaking news. My guy does not miss beat. But yeah, Maxx Crosby's contract has been, his salary is going to be guaranteed through 27. So there you go. Bueno says, I agree with 805. Bring in Rodriguez. Let him learn behind the guys we brought in. Yeah, man. I think, yeah. So, I mean, the way I've been drafting, and this is why I'm talking about it. The way I've been drafting, I'm drafting pretty heavy. I haven't done the mock in a while. I've been drafting pretty heavy on the linebacker room. Now going out and getting two really, really solid guys, you don't have to. You might just need to pick up one. Your star linebacker for the next 4 years. That might just be the guy that you pick up either in the second round, third round, somewhere around there. This linebacker class is pretty deep, so you have options. But I don't know. This is down. Things change a little bit. So it just, again, we needed to see how kind of they play out this free agency. And we're starting to see it now for what it is, right? They're really investing big on that linebacker room. We needed to. But we hit, I don't know. I don't want to say we hit it out of the park because I don't want to jinx it, but I really, really like these two signings. Even I like the third one that we did today. I think he's going to be good too. 805 says, if we don't trade back, I can see the Broncos drafting Denzel Boston late in the first. They need a wide receiver one pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he gets out of the first, bro. To be honest with you, I don't. I think that's wishful thinking. If they really want Boston, I think Raiders have to go ahead and trade up into the first. Yeah. Dixon says after Mendoza BPA. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. It might go down that way. You know, as long as it's BPA for one of the things that we need. So obviously, we'll need uh the nose tackle. Nose tackles for sure. If he's not there, receivers not there, then we start going linebacker, right? Corner after that. Start going down the list until we see. Obviously, you already know how Spytech does. That's one thing I'm worried for damn sure. Now, literally, guys running without a governor, bro. He can do whatever fucking wants, and Spytech I trust. So there you go. But uh, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Uh, oh, you were talking about Diggs. Yeah. And he's on the older side, bro. He's on the older side. I mean, still, again, the way the Raiders are doing is they're kind of doing that youth movement thing. So we'll see what happens. But it's funny that Jennings has not found a home yet. He is still out there floating around. He's out there floating around. So, um, yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens with that. Um, let's go ahead and since we're some Mendoza comments were in there, I wanted to go ahead and bring up this question to y'all. We touched upon it a little bit a few weeks ago. Then I kind of just like, we're gonna revisit that later on in the off season. And I think this question is not gonna die down anytime soon. I think this question is not gonna die down up until week 1, to be honest with you guys. And if you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, let me throw it down for y'all. QB bridge question. So the question is now put on there because most likely the
number one pick
is going to be Fernando Mendoza. And the question raises, and I know 805 is going to give me shit for it, but I'm still going to go ahead and ask
pro ready. End of story.
Is Fernando Mendoza going to be pro ready? Do you throw the rookie quarterback, the number 1 draft pick, the number 1 pick? Do you start him right away? Do you throw him to the fire? Do you throw him into the wolves? Or do you bring in a guy to go ahead and be that bridge, to be that caretaker, that facilitator, that babysitter, in other words, that mentor? I'm just kidding on the babysitter part, but mentor, right? You're bringing in a guy to go ahead and be that bridge. Give some time for this guy Fernando Mendoza to go ahead and learn how it is to be a quarterback in the NFL. That is a question that is now starting to come in the forefront, right? And as we see it now, that question it has not been answered yet. But I think it will, if something happens in the way of free agent quarterback signing, I think we'll know pretty damn sure. So I'm asking you guys this question. How do you guys feel about that? Because whether you guys like it or not, let's just stick to, let's be unbiased about this. In this sense, for this situation, Raiders are on the clock. For all intents and purposes, I think we all know. Either we accept it or we don't. In the back of our mind or in the front of our minds, we know that most likely Fernando Mendoza will be the pick at 1. So with that being said, do you start Fernando Mendoza or do you bring in a bridge quarterback to be that, again, facilitator, that guy, um, give an opportunity for Fernando Mendoza to kind of learn how it is to be a quarterback in this league. We seen a lot of quarterbacks start right away, and we've seen some that didn't, and we've had different results, you know. But whatever way you go about it, um, is there a real right way or wrong way? I don't know, and I really don't know. You know, um, I think as much as we hate Mahomes, he is who he is, right? He didn't start right away. Um, we look on the flip side. We had guys like Jaden Daniels start right away. See what he's able to go ahead and produce, right? This past season, he had some setbacks, and those were more injury related than performance related, right? He didn't have a whole lot of opportunity being out there. We saw what a first year Caleb Williams looked like. We looked like what a second year Caleb Williams looked like. So it's different sides, different owls. They can kind of go off by. I don't think there's a really right or wrong answer for it, but ultimately, this is the question that's going to be asked right after they draft them. Are you? And trust me, the questions are starting to come out now, but you're going to see a whole full swing of things come out as soon as that name is being read, as soon as they have him out there with the jersey, with the hat. It's going to happen, right? There, and you'll have, and I think it's probably going to be Rich Eisen. Shout out to Rich Eisen. I love that guy. But he's going to ask him, now you ask the question, do you start Fernando Mendoza right away or do you bring in a bridge quarterback? Do you hear that? Right? And even if we go out and get bring in a guy from free agency to come in, right, to be part of this quarterback room, nothing's set in stone yet on what the future of Fernando Mendoza looks like. And I'm gonna go and I'm loving it. I'm seeing comments fly through. So make sure you guys go ahead and let me know your thoughts, your opinion on this matter right here, forefront. And if you're watching the replay for all my guys out there, make sure you guys go ahead and hit up that comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this question. Should the Raiders bring in a quarterback to be that bridge for Fernando Mendoza? What are you guys' thoughts on it? I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. And I tend to, and honestly, I feel that the person that's really gonna have that decision is gonna be Clint Kubiak, aside from Fernando Mendoza, because honestly, the real decision is gonna be Fernando Mendoza. If Fernando Mendoza comes in and OTAs, minicamp, training camp, this kid's fucking lining shit up like a Christmas tree, he holds his own fate. He can go ahead and make that bid to go ahead and start right away. Right? Ultimately, Clint Kubiak is going to be the one to go ahead and give the nod and say, okay, we're starting Fernando Mendoza week 1. I'm going to go back to what he referenced in the combine. He talked about he was ultimately asked a question in regards to Fernando Mendoza, and what he thought about him. Obviously, we heard what Spytech says, right? Spytech's on that philosophy, same wavelength as Tom Brady. He feels that rookie quarterbacks should sit their first year as much as possible, right? If you guys forgot what Clint had to say, let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a refresher course And this is kind of what Clint had to say in regards to Fernando Mendoza and him potentially being the starting quarterback.
What do you think some of the mistakes that's kind of like maybe hurt that player's development? Because Spytek said told us yesterday how sometimes for young guys, it's maybe their struggles could be more of an organization with the organization they compare to the players. So I was wondering what mistakes you think teams have made like in the past or what you've seen that has hurt a young guy's development into the league.
I can't speak to those teams. I will say that the success of the quarterback is the success of the team. Playing good defense, special teams, running the football on offense. But I think any of these QBs that succeed, they're going to succeed. They would have succeeded regardless of myself or the organization. Like great quarterbacks, they just find a way to get it done. They don't make excuses. They find a way to bring people together. They find a way to get the best out of their players. That's obviously our job as coaches. But great, the cream rises to the top. So you're looking for who is that individual that can find a way, no matter the circumstances.
What do you think?
So there you go. You heard it from Spytek. The cream rises to the top. Great quarterbacks are going to be great quarterbacks, regardless of the situation, regardless of who's in there, regardless of the coach. And I think he said it best. This is if all goes as planned, if we draft Fernando Mendoza, he's going to be the guy, right, moving forward. This organization felt a certain type of way that this guy's going to be the leader, for the future. This is going to be the quarterback for the future. If that's the case, he holds his own fate in his own hands. And if we hope that he becomes, if we hope he is what we hope that he is, he's going to do the thing that he's going to do, which is start week 1, right? So that's a question. So do you spend big money on a guy like Kirk Cousins, right? We were talking about Kirk Cousins earlier. Kirk Cousins is going to want a bag. He's going to want at least like $15 million, if not a little bit more, right? Kirk Cousins, depending on what his mindset is, he might feel like he's the guy. He might feel that he's going to be the guy to put this team, in the right path for the next 2-3 years or whatever time he feels he has left. Could be that, because whoever comes in has to come in with that mentality. Like, this is our plan. You're going to take a back seat to that. And that's it. You might start the first 3 games. You might play half of this. You might start half of the season, or you might start the whole season, or you might not start at all. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with mentoring this kid who's coming into the league, and to playing in the NFL. It's a different beast. So again, I put that question back out to you guys. Honestly, I feel if he's able to go ahead and prove in training camp that he's going to be the guy, you start him. You start him. So obviously, we'll see what happens. But again, appreciate you guys tapping in, rocking with me on this Monday night. Let's see here. All right. 805 spring news. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Drati says, will y'all be mad if y'all didn't draft Mendoza? If we trade back, bro, for me, and I only speak for me, I would be taken back. I'll be more curious on what they saw that they decided not to go after Fernando Mendoza. Then I would be very excited right after that to seeing who we're going to go ahead and get. What do we get, and what's going to be the play? At whatever draft picks, because again, you're gonna get at least 2 first and a second if you trade back. So I don't know. We'll see. But I doubt that it's gonna happen. You never know. This is a crazy business. Hey, for all intents, I'm gonna just say this: I never thought we were gonna trade Maxx Crosby. There we are. We did it, and I never thought a Maxx Crosby trade would get rejected, and here we are now. Right? Wild as league. You never know. You never know. Troy says no, bring in the bet. Alex says no more like week 8. We get him in. Okay. All right. So you set him to like week 8. Okay. Shout out to my guy Arnie in the building. What is good? Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see here. 805 says sit Mendoza the entire season. He needs it. Short-term pain. Hopefully long-term gain. Okay. All right. Yeah. And that's why I said, and I know 805 is not for drafting him at 1. Okay. That's why I said, if let's just go with what's gonna happen. That we know what's most likely gonna happen. We draft Fernando Mendoza. What's gonna be the play? Should we sit him? Should we play him? What is you guys' opinion on that? Let's see here. Alex says Jaden also got injured right away. He didn't get injured that year 1. As far as I know, maybe if he did, it was very brief. I don't know. I mean, I don't follow Commanders, but as far as I know, he played most of the season. I don't know if he did not, he missed some games. I don't know. I got to look into that, but I don't know. He still played year 1. Still went to NFC Championship game year 1. I don't know. My guy Troy says Mendoza should not be picked. We need a pass rusher for Mad Max. Get up in age. I said that we're gonna most like let's not think of what we want or what should happen. Saying we know what's gonna happen, bro. So what's the plan there? Do you start him right away or do you bring in a bridge? But Max is here, bro. Max is here. And if we're gonna draft an edge for the future, doesn't necessarily have to be at 1, bro. The class is deep. There's Romello Height out of Texas Tech. Look at his tape. Gotta keep he's a late round guy. 4 or 5. Probably projected in the 5th round, somewhere around there. Definitely a guy to go ahead and bring in and work on. Remember, Max wasn't a 1st round pick. I think it was a 4th round pick, 5th round pick. He's now he is valued as a 1st round pick, right? It could definitely happen that way. We've seen that happen time and time again with different players. So not everybody who's a 1st round pick, stays a 1st round pick. We have one in house. Tyree Wilson, perfect example. That you really think that guy's a 1st round pick? No way. But at the time, he was considered a 1st round pick. And it just plays out that way. So it's just you gotta do the analysis on it. So I don't know. That was a big miss there. No, I don't want to get into that conversation because that's a whole other conversation itself. Let's see. My guy Arnie says, what would you think if AOC starts? Let Mendoza back him up. Plus, draft Joel Lar in later rounds to be our 3rd string. I'm not mad at that. I want to know. I don't know if Drew gets picked up in this draft. He might go to UDFA. I don't know. Good. If you use, he might be there in the 7th. I've seen some mocks where he's there in the 7th round. 6th round is probably going to be the round where he goes. You could. But you can also bring in a UDFA guy if you just want to bring in somebody for depth. I wouldn't mind AOC starting. That's not my ideal thing, but I know what AOC is and I know what he's not. I know what what he could be. You know, if you just want to give time for Fernando to go ahead and learn, that would be, I wouldn't be mad at that move. Why? Because it saves you money, but two, we know that AOC's experience. He's been in the league. We know that he's a solid backup. I think if you provide him with protection, I think there could be something there. But obviously, you have to have the protection there. Now we do. We upgraded that offensive line, so that makes it more plausible. If you decide to go ahead and go into the bridge direction. But I feel like if you have those two in competition, yeah, I don't think AOC beats him out. But I don't know. Who knows? Ernie says, I feel like Mendoza's mobility will be the biggest factor in beating out AOC4 as a starting and training camp and preseason. Yep. Yep. 805 says, all I heard was trade back. That's Kubiak talk for trade back. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Let's see. Alex says trading back gets us band-aid QBs for another 20 years. 100%, bro. Come on now. We can't hope to. This would be a different story, 805, if the Maxx Crosby trade would have went through. Because we have the first for next year. Then I'll be a little bit more susceptible to be like, okay, if they make a move like that, all right. Wouldn't be mad at that. I did a mock when we had the 14th pick, number 14. We traded back and we got Ty at 16 or something like that. See? So, and then we had the first for the extra first and next year, right? Depending how we would do. But either way, it would be like a middle of the round pick. It would probably been 2 middle of the round picks unless you use both of those to get you up into the top 5. You know, and I'm telling you, look, see how we get done with deals. Don't have a great track record of that, but yeah, man. Let's see here. Darren says we would need a lot of first for Mendoza. What do you mean? You could be a little bit more specific on that. Francis says I am only sending Mendoza to allow the old line time to establish who they are. As soon as that moment is, I realize I'm bringing him in. I get where you're coming from with that. The thing with that, I think I think they'll gel by like week 2, bro. Like 100%. Mind you, the only new guy really is gonna be Tyler Linderbaum. Tyler Linderbaum is gonna be the only new guy. It's still gonna be Colton Miller on the left side. It's gonna be JPJ on the left side. There's gonna be Tyler at center. The right side is gonna be the question now. So who's gonna be on the right side? Is it gonna be could it be Glaze? Could it be, if that's decided to push up Glaze to guard? Could it be Caleb Rogers, right? And then if they decide to go ahead or let's say they decide to go ahead and keep or Meredith, right? I don't know. We'll see how Meredith does because he's still with us. He got re-signed. So let's say it's between Meredith and Rogers for all intents and purposes, and you keep you have Glaze. You'll have a competition between Glaze and Charles Grant, which is great. You want that. So all these guys have played together except Tyler Linderbaum. So really, it's Tyler Linderbaum kind of getting in sync with them, and he really taking over and really running the show. I think that's really where that meshing part starts coming into effect. Oh yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it sucks. Arnie says When was the last time we were in a position to draft a franchise QB, Derek Carr, in the top of the second round? Yeah, I mean, Bart. Before that, you already know who's in that market. Um, we try to do it in 2024. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get up there. Or my bad. Couldn't. We weren't willing to do it at the time with that GM in the building. So um could in hindsight could have that changed things if we would have went into into a higher pick. Yeah, it could have changed things, but we're trading off Brock Bowers at that point. So um like our guy says, everything sometimes happens for a reason. I think um we stayed at 13 because Brock Bowers is there. We need to go ahead and build up that O line. We got JPJ out of it. We got DJ Glaze in that draft as well. So we picked up two linemen. We picked up two linemen last draft, excuse me. And now we just signed the biggest center um, to our team for the next next few years. So we're good. We're solid. Could there be some more moves to be made? Yes. I mean, eventually you gotta think about Colton Miller and what you're gonna go ahead and do there. You're gonna draft his replacement. And again, when you're drafting replacement, you're not having to go ahead and get somebody early on. You can go ahead and wait in the later rounds to pick up guys that you're just ultimately gonna sit and learn. You have a guy like in Caleb Rogers who could potentially have something there. We don't know, right? We saw some flashes last season. Definitely potential there. Charles Grant and DJ Glass, what's going to go on there, right? You never know. Charles Grant might stun everybody and maybe beat out DJ Glaze. You never know. That's a great thing about having guys like in here. This is where really the competition comes into play. This is really where it makes guys better. Right now, it's where it makes sense. But you can't be doing that shit fucking week 6, expecting somebody to really be the standout. If it's not done by the end of training camp, it's like, okay, bro. If you have your consensus of guys who are performing a certain way, that's your rotation. That's just how it's gonna go. Let's see here. Darren says he needs to play and learn. He does not get better on the bench. Okay. Shout out to my guy, the Raider Rundown in the building. What is good? Make sure you guys go ahead and head on over to my guy Rundown's channel. Go ahead and give him a like and subscribe. He was on earlier today. Fire show, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see here. What other QB do you like in this draft here? Really none, bro. Outside of Ty Simpson, that's it. Nussmeier's probably like the other guy, and he's later rounds, probably like 4th round, 3rd round, maybe if he makes it high enough. So I don't know. For me, it's Mendoza, bro. Shout out to Subs. He says the whole idea of draft Mendoza is to win games. If they bench him, better do not think of playoff again 2026. He is ready. He should start taking his hits. I agree with part of that, bro. Though the part that I don't agree, I don't think we're gonna make playoffs this year. I'm not trying to put that expectation out there, and we shouldn't put that expectation out there. But you guys can do what you want. I'm just saying, I think we should curve our expectations. But I agree with you on the part that he should go out there and learn. This is where you get the experience. You don't get the experience a whole lot off of the bench. It's hard. You need to get the reps in real time and learn and start getting down timing, right? That's really how you learn. Again, my thing is this: if he shows it in OTAs and training camp, if he's the clear cut guy, start him. Don't think about it, just start him. Francis says people love the mock draft game of training back all the time. Once the season starts, you realize that you're almost ignoring most of the important position again. You'll regret it. Well, that's why you gotta take your time on these mocks. It's a mock, bro. It's different when it's real life because you're on the clock, so it's like you gotta go ahead and pull the trigger. So let's see. Troy says quarterback class is better next year. Yeah, that's what it says every year. Didn't you know? That's what we said last year. That's what we said the year prior for this year. And look at this year's class. They said Joel Lar is going to be the next big thing. Look at him now. Guy's going to be lucky if he gets drafted at all. He might go to UDFA. I don't know. Next year, more is better. I don't know. Hopefully. I hope so, bro, for the kid. I like the kid. I think he's phenomenal. I think he has talent, but we just don't know. We just don't know. So we'll see. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Jack in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. 805. All I remember is Jay hitting back his mock trap. I loved it. Keep that energy. Remember, I took a screenshot. I believe you, bro. So did Jeff, apparently. I'm gonna just say this, dog. If I want to be, my reaction is not gonna be the reaction that probably people expect if it does happen. I'll be like, what the fuck? Wow, I can't believe they did that. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Who do we got? I'm being like in a mad frenzy trying to figure out like who's gonna be the pick at 6, 3, whatever, 2, whatever. This is gonna be like, who's gonna be the guy? Who's gonna be the guy? That's literally how I probably would feel, bro. I'm just telling you right now. Doubt it happens, but I'm just telling you right now. Francis says Raiders play this QB game too much, thinking they are smarter than the league. It never works. Next year's class is not better than Mendoza as of now. That's why they are not coming out. Well, they're not coming out for different ways, for different reasons. Yes, I think he would have been the first round pick. Yes, he would have definitely been top 5. Not number 1. Not number 1. I think Mendoza was clear cut number 1 from these two guys. If Moore was going to come out, I think Moore took Moore as number 2, no matter what. I think just the hit that really he took was the playoff games. The playoff game was that game versus Indiana. He just did not look good, bro. Did not look good. There was a lot of shit exposed. The game versus Texas Tech too, not just that game, but the game versus Texas Tech. That was another game that kind of showed a little bit like, hey, there's some shit to question about more. So I think for him, it just benefits him staying another year. And next year, you never know, he might be number 1. So we'll see. Arnie says, would you draft O-line or sign more O-line? We run it back, same roster with Linderbaum. Like, would I draft more O-line? I wouldn't really sign any. I don't even know, honestly, I don't even know who's still out there as far as offensive linemen concerned. And again, you also have to think about the youth, the age. The age is also going to play a factor. The only real position you probably would you could bring in is that right tackle position. You have Jawan Taylor. His market value is about 15. You have Jonah Williams, market value 10. A guy came from Arizona. You have them out there. Both guys are 20 years old. Difference is one's $4 million more than the other, $5 million more than the other. Excuse me. So, that's a real question, right? Obviously, if we bring in one of these two guys, I would bring him in for like a 2 or 3 year deal, right? Um, you you're putting a little bit of investment in. You're giving some time for DJ Glaze to kind of get some experience in. You can bring him in for a 3 year, but really it'll probably be like you'll probably be able to go ahead and front load it and get out of it in the second year if you really wanted to, right? Who knows? But or you can draft the guy again. Third round, I probably would go for it to make sense. And getting a replacement for DJ Glaze, you would have to drop them before the fourth round. You have to get a guy in the second or third to make it make sense, right? Because DJ Glaze is a fourth round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So that's where it makes sense because now you're bringing in somebody of probably better time. I mean, you could probably draft a guy in the fourth round. Maybe it probably would work out, but I feel like you kind of just swapping one for the other. You might get one good year out of them. Maybe the next year it will be shit. I don't know. So, but if as you go higher in the draft class, like as far as in the rounds, the better quality of talent there is. It's just how it is. So I don't know. They're just decisions, but offensive line, I think we good, bro. I think we good. I think you would draft at this point. So that's the real question. Are you going to go ahead and replace a right tackle position? Jack says everyone needs to learn to bomb. You don't spend that money if not. Yeah. Let's see. Arnie says, in your opinion, how good is DJ the Mule Glaze at right tackle or better at guard position? I haven't seen him play guard, bro. I think he can do it at right tackle. I think a lot of it last year was due to coaching, to be honest with you. We knew what type of coaching was in the building. Now we got real adults here. So I think once Rick starts working with them, I think we'll see a better DJ Glaze. I don't know. I think we'll see a better DJ Glaze, and also too having Charles Grant there is going to also provide that competition, that kind of kick in the ass, which is good. You want that. You want a guy who's going to be there like, oh, fuck, I can potentially sit on the bench this season if I don't get my shit together and really like refine my craft and fix some of the stuff I need to fix. So I don't know. Jeff keeping the receipts, 100%, 100%. He's like, look, I clipped it. What's up, Daniel? Very appreciate you pulling up, my guys. Salute. Is DJ's nickname really the Mule? I have no idea. That's the first time I heard of it, bro. Yeah. Subs, shout to Sub. He says, we need one wide receiver, one corner, and build special teams to stop punt return. We're getting there, bro. We're getting there. We signed that dude today. He also plays special teams, so he's good. We brought Young as well. We let go of the long snapper, Bobenmeyer. I think that's his last name, Jacob Bobenmeyer. We brought in somebody new, so they're addressing special teams for sure. Brought in a new coach, Joe DeCamillis. So, they're definitely aware of that, which is good. Oh, sorry, bro. The Ty Simpson. My bad, dog. My bad. The deal can't be moved, Glaze. Okay, there you go. That's what's up. Shout out to Raiderade in the building. Salute, brother. Thank you for pulling up. He says, developmental year. Last year's draft class will develop right before our buys with this coaching staff. Hopefully. And that's the thing, man. We had a like really fan base, content creators. We all had to like really make that a forefront at a point in the season. Like, hey, we ain't making fucking playoffs. Let's start seeing what these guys can do. Let's get these guys out there. Let's start evaluating. Let's start assessing. Let's start seeing, because these things are going to be important come this time this year. And we finally get to see that. I think Spytech really had to like drill it into P. Like, you need to play these guys. We're not going to make the playoffs. We're out of contention. We're not going to make it. There's no point to winning. Well, I don't think he said there's no point. I think he says we just need to see the talent, what we have. So however you want to wiggle that into the game as far as reps, you want to play these games late in the game, beginning of the game, middle of the game. You need to see them. We need to see them. So, yeah. Arnie says, will Tommy freaking Eichenberg get a chance with a playing time or just special teams player only? I think special teams, my guy. I think special teams is going to be like his forte. I don't think he's going to get reps over like Quay Walker or Dean, bro. Or what's this guy's name? Oh, man. I forgot his name. Shoot. Yeah, the new guy that we just signed. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get he's gonna get playing time over those guys. Unless he turns it around, bro, and starts like literally balling out. Then yeah, Segun Olubi. There you go. Segun Olubi. There you go. Hey, there you go. More power to you, bro. I honestly think we will not win 11 games. I think we'll win half of that, probably 6, maybe. Again, I want to put that out there. Let's not put expectations on this team. Let's not go ahead and be calling for heads if we're not winning. If we don't win more than like 7 games or anything like that. This is a rebuild. This is gonna take time. Yes, we went out there and got some big names on the defensive side of the ball. We got a big name on the offensive line. Yes, it looks good all on paper. Still rebuild. We still have a lot of ways to go. We need to go ahead and get our franchise quarterback. No more Gino. He gone. He got sent to QB purgatory. Got sent to the QB gulags, as my guy Wasted would say. He's out there doing his time, being the tank commander for them for 27. That's their year. I don't know. Whatever, right? But yeah, this year is a total rebuild. I really, the only expectation I really have for this team is that just we look better. We look better performance-wise on the field. Okay? That's the only expectation that I have for this team, that we're moving towards the direction of getting better. Don't want to put the expectation out of winning 10 games, 11 games, 9 games, none of that. If I have to put a number on it, it's going to be on the low side. I'll be happy if we win one more game than we won last year, to be honest with you. That's just that's my take. Because again, it's a rebuild. I don't expect too much from this team doing a whole lot. But, I think we're in a better shape than I originally projected. So I think, winning 6 games might be more of a possibility than as opposed to winning 4 games or 5 games. So we'll see. We'll see. Francis says, I enjoy the idea of Moore considering his potential. I cannot see the Raiders playing in the hypothetical game. They would look like dog shit versus equal talent. Let's see. Jeff says, we're in a position of drafting out of desperation, but we hope and pray Mendoza is the answer, and the attitude of, oh, well, we'll try again if he's not. I mean, what else are you going to do, bro? It's not drafting out of desperation. It's drafting out of need, bro. It's just we need what we need. So you're saying if we don't need let's say we didn't get Linderbaum. So the pick at 1 if let's say there was no good QBs at all, we're not going to draft an offensive lineman at 1. We're going to pick something entirely different or something that we don't need. You draft of what you need. Guess what? What we need is a quarterback. Guess what? Probably the top quarterback is out there. You know, we just talked about him and Moore. Moore was never going to be number 1 if he would have came out, bro. It just would have been another option. He would have drafted higher than Ty Simpson, but that's for damn sure. But still, we need a quarterback. That's plain and simple. Unless you're gonna go ahead and bring in Kirk Cousins, bro, and go pay that dude like fucking go pay that dude a Brinks truck too, which I don't agree in doing on an aging Kirk Cousins. No. What's good, my guy Tanner Jack? Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see here. Arnie says only top 4 picks. Only top 4 picks next year will get opportunity to draft Manning. Manning, Moore, Sane, Carr is Mendoza, better than all 4 of them. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I next year I'm gonna be looking at the quarterbacks then in a few months when they start playing. I don't know. You know, I know what Moore is because we're watching Moore. I saw a little bit of Arch. I haven't seen Carr as of yet, so I got to see how these guys play. I heard Manning wasn't doing good at the beginning. He turned it around. So, you know, having him another year could be beneficial, right? Maybe he doesn't come out next year. What happens then? You guys forget too. Sometimes these guys don't have great years. They might stay another year and in college. With NIL, that's very damn possible. They don't have to come out. They make a lot of money to begin with. So that changes things. So this is also a thing that we have to remember. These guys can stay in longer. Fucking look at Indiana's guys. These guys are like 8-year seniors and shit, you know? Like, it's crazy. Most of these guys are like 25, 26 coming into the draft. That's wild. Wild. So I'm just saying, you know, just food for thought. You know, just because supposedly the draft class is going to be better next year doesn't mean it's really going to be better next year. We don't know what could happen. And we don't know even if we can get up into a position where we might be able to get some of these quarterbacks. We just don't know. So that's another thing we just have to kind of go ahead and think about. Shout out to TD in the building. He says, oh, hoping Charles Grant gets that right tackle job. We don't know, bro. I wouldn't be mad if he does. And it's funny that a guy that we were just like, this guy needs a lot of work. And when he finally got a shot, he did not look bad at all. He did not look bad at all. So potential there. Potential. As 805. Shout out to my guy 805 in the building. I remember when we did that breakdown on Charles Grant when we first drafted him. It's like, this dude needs a lot of work. And you know, he didn't get a lot of reps, even when he did get playing time at the end. But when he did, he made those reps count. So that's good. When is it draft again? The April the 24th. The 23rd, 24th, and 25th, if I'm not mistaken. Arnie says Charles Grant is another year away unless injury happens. I hope not. Don't be jinxing shit, bro. Let's see. Raider 8 says, if we win more than 3, we are heading. Exactly. Thank you, my guy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying, bro. If we win more than 3, we'll be on the path of right direction. We'll be on the path of the right direction. So let's see. Go ahead and make sure you guys go ahead and put your questions and comments in, guys. Again, if you guys are watching the replay, go ahead and put your comments in there. Let me know what you guys think about possibly having a bridge QB for Fernando Mendoza, if that is going to be the pick at number 1, which we all think most likely will be. But if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe on this channel. It really does go ahead and really help support the show. Appreciate you guys tapping in with me on this Monday night. Let's see here. Tanner says, can't wait to hear that we drafted Mendoza. There you go. Exactly, bro. Arnie says, biggest impact is Taron Johnson on defense this year, 100%. We finally addressed that nickel position, and that was a position that if you guys were rocking with me last season, we were screaming at the top of the lungs, me and Rundown, get a fucking nickel, and we ended up doing that. So thank you, Spy Tech. Telling you, my guy's been cooking. Shout out to my guy Moval Raider in the building. Salute, brother. Haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see here. Arnie says, Jay, looking at our depth chart, what position do we have to focus in the draft? Nose tackle for sure. So that defensive tackle, we got to get a nose. We got to get a nose. Wide receiver is probably the other position. And this is the question what comes into play is what do you do in the second round? Having only technically at the moment that one pick at 36 in the second round, are we going to go ahead and get a defensive player, offensive player? If it's offensive player, are we drafting that? Wide receiver? If it's defense, are we getting a nose tackle? Are we getting a linebacker? What is the play there? A lot of questions to be raised. Honestly, the meat and potatoes looks like this year is going to be that second and third round. Fourth round is still going to be okay. You have potential there. But, man, if we're able to go ahead and get back into the second round, third round a couple times, having an extra pick in both of those rounds, we could definitely do some damage there. We can definitely fast track the rebuild way faster. We can fast track it for sure. Troy says, Moore is better quarterback prospect than Mendoza. I don't know, my guy. I think he would still be second. He stayed in college. That's cool. He's going to benefit from staying another year. Hopefully next year he's a true number one. That'd be sick. Arnie says NFL teams don't draft wide receiver, running backs, linebackers, safeties in the first pick in the draft anymore. Yeah, we really haven't seen it in a very long time. So usually it's quarterback, bro. Quarterback's really been leading the show. Shout out to number one Raiders. He says, hello, first timer here. Go Raiders. I believe Raiders will win 11 games. Hold on, bro. Since you're new here, I got to go ahead and give you a Raiders, bro. Raiders! Yes, sir. I don't know about us winning 11 games, but if you do, more power to you, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for the subscribe. Thank you for pulling up, my guy. Let's see here. Ricky Beers says, if you're expecting this team to win 4 or 5 games this year, you should be screaming for them to trade the number one pick and shoot for a deeper draft next year. Again, we talked about this. It's a rebuild, bro. It's a rebuild. It is what it is. We could fucking draft Tom Brady himself and start him right away. We're going to get the same fucking result, most likely, bro. We're not going to win a whole lot of games. There's a lot of pieces to go ahead and really put together to go ahead and really make this team solid all the way around to contend. It's a big task. We made a big dent, I feel, in this free agency, but we need to get more stuff done in the draft for sure. Raider Aid says, we will draft the top 10 wide receiver next year. There you go. I agree. Maybe this year. You never know. They like Branch, but Branch is not a first round guy. Probably a third round guy. But if we pick up a receiver, definitely Zach Branch, Raider royalty. Don't be surprised if that happens. That could be a guy. Francis says, once again, Moore is hypothetically better. Mendoza is better until proven otherwise. Yep. from this past year, bro, did not look like that. But it was close. It was close. More has a whole lot of upside. I like that dude a lot. I eyed that dude before the playoffs. I've been keeping tabs on all these guys. Ty, Moore, Fernando. Fernando versus that Oregon game is really when it started. And that was kind of like early October, something like that. September, I don't even know. Tanner says we are winning some games next year. Yes, for sure, 100%. We're gonna win some games. Just again, we shouldn't be putting expectations like that where we're, if these guys are not winning 8, 9, 10 games, 11 games, it's a failure. It's a rebuild. It's going to take time. This is a time where we have to go ahead and exercise patience. Patience. I know. Trust me. We're Raider fans. That is not in our vocabulary, but we have to fucking learn it somehow. Appreciate my guy, Renee, in the building with the $5 super. He says, I truly believe the Raiders tried to trade Maxx Crosby to stack number 1 picks for next year to get a QB and trying to trade number 1 pick. I don't know, bro. Well, for one, Max wanted to get traded, bro. That's just the reality of it. And he saw the grass wasn't green on the other side. That should happen with Leonard. That should happen with the Ravens. They're like, they saw all their talent walk out the door, and they couldn't retain anybody. They couldn't really make big moves. So they're like, fuck this. Trey Hendrickson's out there. We can at least get this guy for the same price and not lose our first. We can go ahead and go back to the drawing board, get some guys, draft some guys, and, we might be in a decent position. But yes, getting the extra draft picks are good. We have options. So if a thing where we trade back out of the first, again, not mad at it. Did do a draft. Ask my guys 805 and Jeff. They're here. They have receipts. I had to play devil's advocate, bro. But we can definitely do some big damage. At a point, trading back there, at a point there's a moment where you're just like, I don't know, what else the fuck do I draft? Because you get a lot of draft picks. But some of the draft classes aren't strong as others. It's defense. This is a great draft. Offensively, not the best. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see. My thing is this, and I was going to ask this question too earlier. If something like if a trade could still happen, I don't think anytime soon. I think this is something. Obviously, we know this is going to happen. These rumors don't go away. These rumors will always continue to happen until we actually start winning games. And when I mean winning games, I mean winning 11 games. I mean winning playoff games. Making runs. That's when stuff like that, when these rumors start dying away. But the rumors won't go away until we finally win a Super Bowl. And I don't even think the rumors will stop. They'll find a way to go ahead and turn this thing around where, Maxx Crosby will go ahead and try to find the next team to go ahead and win a Super Bowl at, or want to go back home, or some shit, this or that. I don't know. There's always something. So I don't think those rumors, the media, people out there don't want us to have nice things, and that's kind of how it is. You already know. My guy John says, with all these free agents we signed and our new coach, Casey taking a step back, easy 10 wins. Ooh, no. Oh, my guy. I don't know. Come on. Alex says 6 wins is good for me. There you go. That's what's up. Arnie says, who's your favorite wide receiver in the draft? I like Mekhi Lemon, Casey Contention. We just read Denzel Boston just a bit ago. That guy has a lot of upside potential, but fortunately, this guy is looking to go ahead and be drafted somewhere in the first round, maybe maybe at the very bottom, like floor, top of the second round, somewhere around there. So we'll see. But yeah, unless we trade back into the first, is really where we can go ahead and draft a guy like Denzel Boston. But guy's a tall guy, 6'4". He his 40 is about 4'5", but what I read earlier, even though he clocked that, he's much faster running the route. So yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. My guy Alex says, why would us Raiders get a wide receiver in free agency and get Tyler not to draft Mendoza first overall? Y'all crazy. I don't know. Yeah. That's just I don't know, bro. It just I don't even try to reason with some of this stuff sometimes, bro. Just it is what it is. My guy Resident says Crosby felt the reality of the NFL and how cutthroat it could be. Yeah, bro. And like we were talking about it earlier. The grass is not always green on the other side. It's just he has certain perks. He has certain pull here, bro. He has certain influence in the building. He has big influence on the defense. He's a captain. He's right now at the moment still the face of the franchise. Bar it however you feel. The fact is, Maxx Crosby is still the face of this franchise until we officially draft Fernando Mendoza, and that could change. That can change. You might now have another face of the franchise. You can have two faces of the franchise. You never know. But this is how it is. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think he just felt like, hey, I have a pretty good here, and I have a fan base that really loves me, that really cares for me, and why am I gonna fuck up a good thing? Okay, but it's all good. Number one Raiders with the DL free agency addition to Max should stay and move on. Free agency addition, Max should stay and move on to the Super Bowl. That we move on to the Super Bowl. I assume that's what you meant. I'm not 100% sure. But we're rebuilding, bro. We'll have something maybe next year. Maybe in 27. I'm sorry, in 28. We'll see. Is Max going to be here? I can't answer that 100% anymore. Can't. I don't think I'm gonna anymore. Hey, if it happens, if he's still here, great. If he's not here, okay. It is what it is. Like, it's just kind of how it goes. So we'll see. 805 says, don't let him fool you. Jay saw the light and the video of trading back. The grass is greener over here. I don't think so, my guy. I don't think so. That was just a shits and giggles. You can't prove otherwise. I'm just telling you now. John says, I don't see our GM tanking 2 seasons in a row for a quarterback. Mendoza always has been the plan. What do you think Kubiak came here? 100% agree. Thank you. Thank you, John. Raider, it says Lemon is a Raiders fan. Why he interviews like that? I don't know, dog. Makai is a unique individual, bro. But I'm gonna just tell you that. Because man, let me see if I can find it. There's a thing. Shout out to my guy, LV Rated 10, Nate. He sent something. I don't think I'll be able to find it. He says something about he sent us something in a group chat about Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane interviewing, and it's like night and day. It's hilarious. You can tell like how how one interviews and how the other interviews. It's like, okay, here we go. I think I got it. Okay, let me pull this up for you. I'm gonna just pull this up. Just a little shit and giggles to go ahead and kind of talk about, and then because they brought up the fact about Makai Lemon interviewing, so I want to just go ahead and show this real quick.
Everybody, it's Makai Lemon checking in for USC Pro Day. Appreciate all the support, man. Fight on.
Jacoby Lane here, checking in from the USC Pro Day, getting ready for April, getting some work in, and fight on.
Completely different. Completely different. And how they speak, bro. Hey, it's all good for me. I really don't care. What I care about is how you perform on the field. That's really what I care about. I don't give a shit if you can talk or not. Can you run a route? Can you catch the ball? Can you make catches in tight situations? Can you go out and attack the ball? Can you do that? That's all I care about. Don't care about how that dude interviews. Whatever, bro. That dude could be deaf mute. It's all good by me. Let's see here. Francis says, I like lemon instincts, but I feel like the guy runs like a 300-pound guy. Sometimes it's weird. Yeah, bro. Like I said, bro. Can you run the route? Can you make the play? All I care about. Arnie says, trade back. People want AOC as our QB. And hope we get a first pick next year with an improved roster, improved coaching, improved depth. Yeah, I don't get that, bro. I don't get that because we haven't as of right now we haven't made any moves as far as trying to go out and get a bridge or backup QB or whatever, right? Kirk Cousins and I mean it's not a whole what's out there right now is not too attractive. You got, outside of Kirk Cousins, it's Aaron Rodgers. He old as fuck. Then you have Russell Wilson. We know what he is. Then it's Zach Wilson, Tyrod, fuck, Flacco, and the list goes on, bro. The list goes on. So like, there's not a lot of dudes out there. There's not a lot of dudes out there. Um, I Kirk Cousins is probably the dude that would probably entertain out of the old bunch. Zach Wilson, not my first choice. Yeah, no. I mean, this no, no, no. Hold on.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. John says, wasn't Max fighting with teammates on the sideline last year? How is that a leader? And then the face of the franchise not being a difference on the defense on the defensive. Well, the people he was fighting with was with Devin White, which Devin White, if you saw the fucking games, bro, there was a lot of instances where Devin White was fucking up on coverage, bro. Constantly. I think that's really the dude that he was really going after. I know he had some arguments with E-Rob. There were some misses there. I think a lot of it is just trying to amp these guys to go ahead and be out there and go perform. And like we're missing tackles. We look like shit on defense at times, bro. I mean, it's hard to put all the blame on the defense with them playing so much time. Our offense was again anemic. It was struggling. There was a lot of time. They spent a lot of time out there. So expecting a lot from them was it's a tall order, bro. Getting blown out 30, 25, 30, 40 points. It's not fun. It's not fun, bro. You're gonna have situations where tempers are gonna flare. It's just the natural reaction, bro. And you're trying to go ahead and keep your guys in the game, their heads in it, and keep them like fired up. It's hard because you'll have dudes at some point. You have dudes that are checking out, dog. Just how it goes. Just human psychology. So I don't know. Yeah. So shout out to my guy Lecky in the building. Salute. My guy Raider Aid says they wasn't sending the end when needed. Yep. Max wasn't that great either. I think he was, bro. I mean, Apparently he was, because the Ravens were really quick to fucking give up 2 first-round picks for him. Then they decided, oh shit, we fucked up. We're letting all of our talent just walk out the door. Let's just go ahead and rethink this. That's why you had teams calling, bro. If he wasn't doing much, you wouldn't have a lot of teams calling, bro. Maxx Crosby impacts games, bro. He does. It's kind of hard to do it sometimes when you're getting double, triple team. You know, does he always look great? No, bro. Yeah, there's times where he was single teamed on a play, then he didn't look good, bro. It happens. You're not gonna hit it all the park every time. Who does? Tell me. So I don't know. Odyssey says D-line was the only functional unit last year. Yep. It's just kind of how that defense was kind of set, man. But yeah, this year is going to be different. This is different defense this year. Obviously, everybody got walked out. As far as E-Rob no longer with the team, Jamal Adams no longer with the team. I don't think Devin White is still with us. Let me check, because I think he had one more year with us, if I'm mistaken. Why is this pulling up? Why is it? Yeah. Terry Wilson, Brandon Jackson. Yep, White is no longer here either. So we parted ways with all these guys, man. All these Pete's guys. And it's funny. I think I was listening to oh man, what was I listening to? Sanjeet. I was listening to Sanjeet. And it's funny. He brought up the fact about Pete and the guys that he picked up, and like all these guys are no longer here. What decision making did that come into play? Like guys like Jeremy Chin, guys like Darian Porter. These are size guys. Is it because we knew like Pete Carroll likes the measurables? That's like I see he goes after, and that's what we did last year. So it's just interesting. But we got rid of all those guys. Outside of obviously Darian Porter, he got drafted. Jeremy Chin got put on a multi-year deal year prior. He played pretty good. Those guys are still here. So Eric Stokes being another guy, he played really good, so he got to earn his keep. So some guys stayed because they played really good, but a lot of these guys did not. They're out. So it's just funny. How things kind of work out. But yeah. Francis says, once the trade deadline approaches, Crosby is healthy, a playoff team will go, too late first, done. Might be too late now. Yeah, we'll see, bro. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is gonna come up again. This is how it is. It comes up every few months. It might come up right before the season starts. Might come up at halfway through the season, right before trade deadline. Who knows? We might revisit this time next year again. It's never gonna stop. It's just not with Maxx Crosby. It's just everybody just doesn't want us to have nice things. It's just how it goes. Raiders say, what if 6'7", 373 Lockie Tossie wants our nickel? With Lockie, bro, you gotta either keep him defense or offense. This guy is so raw, new to the game. He's learning it, man. And so if you're trying to give him you're trying to have him wear too many hats, especially a guy who hasn't played the game for very long. You're just going to confuse him. Um, I would just keep him on offense, and just let him learn through there. I think he probably benefits better just being on the offensive line. But who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't confuse him. To either stick him one side of the ball or the other, and that's where you keep him. That's it. Only way it stops it if the Raiders start winning, like winning playoff games, winning a Super Bowl. Then maybe you'll have the rumor stop. But yeah, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Let's see here. Other than that, let me see. You don't have anything else? I think that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, we kind of talked about who they can go ahead and go after in free agency. They may or may not go after a wide receiver again. The guy who to me would make sense at wide receiver probably be Jawan Jennings. He's out there, hefty price tag for that guy. Over 22 million. I don't think we'll get him on the cheap. But yeah, everybody else outside of him is, and Marquise Brown being the other guy, are on the older side and expensive. So we're talking about over $10 million expensive. So yeah, we'll see. There's not really, the market's not too big on wide receivers unless somebody gets released, right? And even that, you got to question that. Quarterback, again, we'll see what they do potentially there. Kirk Cousins, I don't know if that happens. His market value is over 10, so we're looking at 11, 12, probably realistically maybe around 15. Probably ask for 15. Everybody else is on the older side. Aaron Rodgers, I think it'll be good on that. Russell Wilson, Flacco. I think Flacco wants to stay in Cincinnati. That's kind of what I heard. Yeah, everybody's over 30. So my thing is this. I wouldn't want to spend too much on a quarterback if we're drafting Fernando Mendoza, to be honest with you. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So go ahead and spend all this money on a guy that you just probably going to keep for half a season. Not a whole lot of sense there, but obviously, we'll find out what happens there. For all intents and purposes, you never know. We might stick with AOC. He could be the backup. We might draft a late round quarterback to be the third guy, or UDFA guy to be the third round, the third string quarterback. You never know. So we'll see here. Or you just might get somebody on the cheap to be that third string quarterback. So who knows? Talked about nose tackle. Not a whole lot of impressive guys out there for that one either. They may or may not pick up another corner. I think special teams, there might be some pickups there on who they potentially they might strengthen some positions there. We'll see on kind of how they want to go ahead and play that out. But barring that, I think we got most of the guys that we need to go ahead and really immediate attention on the positions. Everything else I think we're going to start seeing is going to be depth pieces, offensive line, defensive tackle, corner. You might see some of that just more on depth side. The draft is really gonna be on kind of how we start bringing in some of the guys that could potentially, obviously, either start or be immediate projects that may or may not draft right away, may or may not start right away. So we'll see how kind of that works out. But obviously, we'll see what happens in the next weeks come leading up to the draft as well. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. I've been on for 2.5 hours. Crazy. Again, if you guys haven't done so, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel. Just Raiders, baby. And if you're on X, make sure you guys hop on over to YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe on your boy, turn on notifications when news drops. I go on. You don't want to be left out in the dark. Hit that subscribe button. Again, appreciate you guys tapping in. I know we're gonna try to do a mock. Just ran out of time. Just chopping it up with the guys. Gotta get ready for dinner with the fam. So gonna head on out. But again, appreciate you guys. Let's see. Yeah, Raider said they'll hate even more when we start winning. That's 100% sure. Appreciate you, my guy Troy. Thank you for pulling up. Hey man, appreciate you. That means a lot. Same to you. John says, what about Anthony Richardson? We do have a coach that turned around Darnold's career. I think they're looking to trade him. I don't think that dude's free agent. I honestly, at this point, I want to trade for a quarterback, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't want to give up any draft capital for anybody else. We have all these holes to fix and all that. We're in that process. I don't know if we give up draft capital for a guy like Anthony Richardson. You gotta keep this in mind. If you're drafting Fernando Mendoza, you don't want to put on a big investment on a quarterback. You want to bring in somebody who can be here for a year, 2 years tops. Realistically, a year where they are okay with either starting a few games, starting half of the seasons, or playing a full season, or not starting at all. That's literally it. Because if we're thinking what we're all thinking, Fernando's going to be the guy. So I want to put a whole lot of investment, spend a whole lot of money on big quarterbacks when we're literally just going to have them sit in the bench potentially for quarter of the season, half season, whatever. So I don't know. But that's a question. That's a very good question. But I think if we're in a different situation, I wouldn't mind that. But I think with what we're planning to do, I think we don't make that move with Richardson. This move would have made more sense last year. But we didn't have the staff for it, and then that sucks too, because it's like, what are you gonna do? But hey, it is what it is. So, you think Casey got it? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Richardson, to be honest with you, so I don't know. Jeff says all these holes to fix, even more reason to trade back the number one. No.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help, Jeff. Get some help. All right, y'all. That is my time for today. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up, tapping in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. Make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for the Connection show on Wednesday with my guy 41 Raider Jeff, my guy Cheetah Linus, and LV Raider 10 Nate. Every damn Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, on this bad channel, Just Raiders, baby. You already know what time it is. I'll also be on Jeff's channel, Nate's channel, Leo's channel. We all do a damn thing. Great show we got lined up. We can go ahead and continue on talking about these free agents and start looking towards the draft. Start leaning towards that now. Now that we got down this first week of free agency, I don't think we're gonna see a whole lot of big splashes going on, but you just never know. But make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for the Reddit Connection this damn Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific on this channel. All right. Jeff says, I'm gonna make sure to going for us going to the job. Okay. Put your little hashtag behind there, bro. There you go. That'd be cool. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Love. Always remember, just Raiders, baby. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the new intro on the way out. But to y'all, peace.
J-Ray, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest, guest rated nation. From Oakland to LA, then Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Ray. Stand up. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style is amazing. Making hits like the B on the Blitz and Silver E and Black on the attack. They on the map. J-Ray, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest guest Raider Nation. From Oakland to LA, then Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Ray. Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like Jay Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders, baby. Jay Raider, the creator of the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question. Just win, baby. Just win.